the Charlotte Hornets basketball team had a big problem in a really important fourth quarter game against the Brooklyn Nets. Their coach, Charles Lee, decided that his best player, the most important guy on his team, should sit on the bench with 3 minutes and 48 seconds left in the game. LaMelo Ball had to sit and watch from the sidelines while his coach didn't put him back in the game, even when there were perfect chances to do it, including 2 timeouts in this last play, which was a perfect time for him to be the hero. The Hornets were losing by 3 points, and they really needed someone who was good at making big shots when the pressure was on. But no, the Hornets lost this game by just 1 point and got kicked out of the NBA Cup tournament. What the heck is happening in Charlotte? Why would you bet everything on a player like LaMelo Ball, who sometimes plays great and sometimes doesn't, but is super confident when things get tough, and then when it's time for him to step up and be a star, you suddenly take away his chance and send him to sit down? You take the guy out for making 2 mistakes where he lost the ball and missed an easy shot. Watford drives in and scores. A decision like this makes people ask lots of questions about LaMelo and the Hornets team. How good is LaMelo Ball really? Does he help his team win or make them lose? And if they treat him like this, how long will it take before he gets fed up? The Charlotte Hornets have a LaMelo Ball problem, and they might have just made things 1,000 times worse. LaMelo Ball is really good at basketball. In high school, he was making shots from halfway across the court, embarrassing other players with his moves, and throwing amazing passes off the backboard. He even scored 92 points in just 1 game. Now that he's in the NBA, he's changing what it means to be a basketball star at 23 years old. Take a look at these 3 players and try to guess which one changed basketball forever. Player A, who at 24 years old got 22 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists per game. Player B, who at 23 years old got 26 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists per game. Or player C, who at the same age got 28 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists per game. Well, it's kind of a tricked question. Player A is a young Steph Curry who back in 2013 was about to teach the NBA how important 3-point shots were. Player B is 23-year-old Allen Iverson, whose crossover move broke the NBA and whose style changed the way a whole generation looked at basketball. And player C is LaMelo Ball this year, who, without any MVP awards, scoring championships, or NBA championships, has a whole generation of kids following everything he does and making older basketball fans go crazy with clips like this. If I say the name Melo, who am I talking about? What player? I say the name Melo. Who do you think of? LaMelo Ball. I get it. We are in a new time of basketball. But this just shows you how special LaMelo is at his age, both with his stats and how popular he is. But for some reason, Charlotte head coach Charles Lee must have forgotten about all of this. Take a look at this chart. This shows the best fourth quarter scorers in the NBA right now. On the bottom line, we have how many points per game they average. And on the side, we have their plus or minus score. For example, a player like Jared McCain is averaging almost 7 points per game in the fourth quarter, which is amazing for a rookie. But his -7 plus minus shows that he's playing when the game doesn't really matter, or that his work on the court doesn't really help his team win. So when we look at this chart, we're looking for a player who scores a lot of points and also helps his team win. In the middle of this chart, we have players like DeMar DeRozan and Jimmy Butler, each of them averaging 8 points per game in the final quarter. They're steady, reliable scorers who can deliver when the game is close and it matters most. Moving up, we have some of the biggest stars. Kevin Durant is at 8.1 fourth quarter points per game. He's probably one of the best closers in NBA history. Then there's Nikola Jokic, also averaging 8 points per game in the fourth quarter. But his plus 20 plus minus shows why he's one of the most important players in the league. Oh, and I forgot one guy. Here's LaMelo Ball at 10.3 points in the fourth quarter. LaMelo is the #1 player in the entire league. Plus he's got a positive plus 35 plus minus. He's scoring more than Kevin Durant, Jimmy Butler, and even Nikola Jokic when games are close. And he's doing it all at just 23 years old. That's being amazing at a level we don't see very often. Getting into the second quarter, got a triple-double if you want to start off vintage. The ball got it, hit, can take the lead. Who wants to? So why would the Charlotte Hornets dare to bench him when the game is on the line? Well, for all of his amazing plays, there's a bad side. For every highlight pass or deep three-pointer or crazy layup, there's a game that LaMelo just doesn't show up like at all. In the game versus the Nets I was talking about earlier, LaMelo had a terrible 3-for-13 from shooting the ball, scoring just 13 points, including losing the ball 4 times and having a minus 10 plus minus. Meanwhile, his replacement, Draymond, scored 17 points, getting 16 points in the second half by himself, leaving the game with a positive plus 10 plus minus. If the Hornets would have barely won, we'd probably be praising Charles Lee for his smart coaching, but they didn't. So here's the big question. Does LaMelo Ball actually make his team better or worse? Well, his turnover rate of 14.3% is one of the worst among starting guards. His defensive rating of 114 makes him a target on that end of the floor. And for comparison, here's how he compares to some of the stars from his same draft class, Anthony Edwards and Tyrese Halliburton. According to Cleaning the Glass, from 2020 until last season, LaMelo helped his team win just 11 games with his efficiency numbers. Obviously, there were injuries, but LaMelo's terrible defense and inconsistency didn't help the Hornets win. Meanwhile, Tyrese Halliburton contributed to 25 expected wins, and Anthony Edwards has been the most helpful with 34 expected wins. For a little while there, it looked like the #3 pick was looking kind of awful, but things have changed. Check out this season. Now, I know we're only a few weeks into this season, but LaMelo Ball is crushing it. Meanwhile, Anthony Edwards is doing well and on track. And Tyrese Halliburton, well, let's just call it a rough patch. Prayers out to the Pacers fans right now. So if we only look at this year, then we really need to question what the Charlotte Hornets are doing. How much of this is actually LaMelo Ball's fault and how much of it is on the Charlotte Hornets? What moves have they made to support their star? Well, they drafted Brandon Miller, who's shown some good plays but hasn't been consistent. They brought back Miles Bridges, who's been solid but comes with some problems off the court. And they traded for Grant Williams, hoping he'd be a defensive anchor. But is that enough? 3 bodies go down. Slam down on the save. It's Bridges, a 3, bottom. The Hornets have never been a championship contending team, and expecting them to figure it out feels like hoping for too much, to say the least. So where does this leave LaMelo Ball? He's a 23-year-old amazing player playing street ball in the NBA, dazzling fans and selling out arenas. What comes next? Does he stay in Charlotte hoping the organization can build a team around him? Or does he follow the path of other stars looking for better opportunities where he can chase championships? Earlier today about returning to the Bay to play, and he told me it's always good to see old friends and reminisce about the good times, but I think an important question is what the Hornets do to get the most out of LaMelo's talent. He isn't just another young star. He's one of the most exciting players in the league with the ability to redefine what it means to be a franchise player. But right now, the Hornets are messing up. You cannot bench your star player in the fourth quarter, no matter how bad they're playing. This is his team. He's not a rookie. He's in his 5th year in the NBA. Hopefully this one time will be a wake-up call that LaMelo needs. Maybe this will make him realize he needs more basketball smarts and better offensive structure. The situation in which he was benched is important. The coach took him out after he drove down the court, didn't pass to his teammate in transition, and then fouled another player out of frustration. So maybe this will help him realize he can't just play on pure flow and his insane confidence on the court. But if the Hornets don't figure this out, LaMelo could be the next superstar to leave this small market team behind. But what do you think? Was benching LaMelo the wake-up call he needed, or will it cause him to lose trust in his new head coach? And what about the Hornets? I know they're not true contenders, but do you think they can put together a solid team around LaMelo and push for the playoffs? Every game matters when you're in the play-in tournament, so I hope he gets to play more fourth quarters. Can they become the Charlotte Hornets like they were with Kemba Walker, or will they always be on the outside looking in? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know by subscribing. Make sure you turn on the notifications because the next Henry Hose video is about how a terrible soccer player embarrassed the entire NBA. It's going to be insane. Peace.